Majida Housni, great to get you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, David.
You are the first EXP Dubai person I've had on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, loads to get into. Maybe you'd like to introduce yourself first and we can take it from there.
Sure. My name is Majida Housni. I'm Moroccan. I'm living here now. Moved back from the US 3 years ago. And I've been here since then. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So you're from Morocco originally, and then you moved to Dubai, when you were 18 initially?
Yeah, the first time I came to Dubai, I was 17 years old. And then we went back. I came here with family, and 18 years old, I moved back here. I moved here completely, opened my first business. I was back and forth because I was still studying. And then we lived here for like 13 years. Yeah, but in between, I lived in the UK. I went to the US, came back. So it was a journey.
So you came over with family initially. And when did you set up your first business?
When I was 18.
You were 18, gosh.
Yeah.
And that's beauty?
Yeah,
business?
I opened a beauty center when I was 18 years old here. When I came here, I was just 17. I couldn't come back alone because, it was really hard to get a visa then. I remember I had to go to Tunisia. So I don't come straight from Morocco. And then I was looking for something to do here. And I had someone that was interested in doing business with me in that young age. I looked into different businesses and I found out that beauty salons were doing the best. I would literally go every day to 2-3 different salons and see what they do, how much clients they have.
Do your research.
Do my research, because that was the only way to kind of do the research. And I came back, we had the meeting and I was like, hey, you have the money, I don't, I'm still studying. How about I manage the business for you? This is a great business idea, but you can manage it yourself because he's, a man. And we ran the numbers and it was interesting to him and we started the business. I was 18.
Fantastic. And how many years did you do that for?
Well, the whole business was like little under 9 years.
Wow.
But I sold the business. I got a partner when was like we had 3 branches 5 years later. And then that partner left a year later, brought another partner. Then later on, I just decided to sell the whole 3 branches.
Yeah, but you'd done it for a reasonable period of time. And you built up a big business. So if you had 3 branches. And then you went to London, is that right?
Yeah, I went to London 5 years later. I was 23. I moved to London. I just lived there for like 18 months. And then during that 18 months, I was in LA. I would come back here. And then
international woman.
Yeah, I am. And then I came back, sold the business, brought a different business partner and went to the US. Okay. Later on, I got a business opportunity to open a store on Rodeo Drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills.
So I was the first Moroccan Arab to have a store on Rodeo Drive with all these big brands. And then I opened another one. I had a business partner that happened to be a celebrity as well. And I opened another one on Camden Drive, just the street behind Rodeo. And then I sold the business.
And that was clothing, was it?
Yeah, it was a clothing store. And then I sold the business again and I opened the Concierge company. That's what I've been doing.
Okay, so you moved on to your next business, Concierge, and that's still running, isn't it?
The Concierge, since 2017, we're still in business. In fact, we're expanding here. We do work worldwide because we have strategic partners in different countries, but we are expanding here and we're going to have something very interesting here.
Oh, wow. Look forward to hearing more about that. So that's mainly US and Dubai, the Concierge business?
We do all the US, we do UK as well, Morocco, Turkey, a lot of countries, because depends on the members and what they're looking for, where members base. So we do offer services from private jets, yachts, cars. We do event planning. We did some very interesting events with we did an event with the Qatar Airways where we sponsored the event as well as Qatar Airways at the Beverly Wilshire. That was our first event, like my first big event. We do event planning for people. We work with,
Yeah, typical concierge sort of
Yeah, we
stuff.
do have some interesting members, CEOs and celebrities, and
Can imagine. Yeah. And then from that took you into real estate?
Yeah, so my story with real estate, when I moved back here, before I moved back, I had a client who had an apartment for sale. So the initial idea
In
was,
Dubai.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's not from Dubai, but he he had it in Dubai. The initial idea was to sell the lead, like go to a real estate company and try to sell the lead. So I went to one of the real estate companies and I met the CEO of the company. And after an hour and a half, I was convinced to be a real estate agent. That's how
Did
we
he convince
started.
you?
Yeah, coming from Miami, like where every other person is a real estate agent, it was kind of hard to convince me like to be like a real estate agent. And that's the case here as well.
There's too
But
many of us, yeah.
yeah, too many of us. And I mean, it's not a problem if too many. You just want like a good real estate agent. But a lot of real estate agents, they don't have the best reputation, right? So when I came here and I went to see the CEO of one of the companies here, it was DNB, it was the first company I worked for. And I told him that I had a client and this is the apartment. It was like a $10 million apartment. And he was like, why don't you work with us? I'm like, no, real estate's not for me, really. But I can sell you the lead. And he ran the numbers like, hey, if you work with us, this is how much you're going to make. But if you sell us the lead, it's how much you're going to make. So there was like a big gap between selling the lead and working on it. And I'm a businesswoman. I shouldn't really think of what people think of me. If it makes sense, if the numbers make sense, I'll go for it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care what people think of real estate agents, but, there's a lot of money in here and I should, start my career as a real estate agent, especially that I know Dubai more than a lot of people. I saw Burj Khalifa coming up, Dubai Mall. We lived in the country for a long time.
Exactly, yeah.
I do know like more than a lot of people. So it's like, why not? And then, yeah, that's how I got to.
And with respect to the beauty industry and clothing, I'm not sure about concierge. I don't know so much about that. But the opportunity to make really good money normally is greater in real estate, isn't it?
True, but they also go hand in hand when it comes to concierge and real estate. So my first client was a concierge client, for example. I do work with a lot of interesting people. So my clients in the concierge, when they want to buy and sell, especially with EXP, I can sell, and I do sell in 24 countries. I'm not limited to Dubai. And that's why we can get to that later. But I have clients that has apartments or houses in Miami that wants to sell, and I can still work on that. I have clients with houses in Brazil or Portugal or Italy, and I can still work on that. So it just goes hand in hand.
It fits in well,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
it?
does.
Yeah. So at what point you've been at D&B Properties, at what point did you meet Dunya Fadi and come over to EXP? What's the story there?
Yeah, so when I closed my first deal ever in Dubai with Dunya,
Right.
where I had
that was a big one on the palm, is that right?
Yeah, $11 million, under $11 million. So it was my first
deal. It's a lot of money.
It was a lot, yeah, it was decent money, yeah. So I met Dunya and I was very excited to work with her just because she's a woman and she has a lot of integrity, and was my issue or my problem working with people, because integrity is my word. Like whenever I talk about something, I talk about integrity first. And unfortunately, in this market, things are not very clear and people don't have integrity. They just want to make the most money, or it's like the hit and run mentality.
Yeah, and it's short-termism, isn't it? Because you can make a lot of money quickly, but you're potentially going to burn bridges. If you have the high integrity, which obviously you've got, Dunya's got, EXP's got, then you're playing the long game. And she's 18, 20 years in the market.
True.
It's worked for her.
This is, for me, it's a long-term business. Like I'm working for the long run. I'm not trying to sell you something that's going to make me the most money now. because that's not the mentality you want to have when you are in this business or any type of business. I want to work with you and work with your brothers and sisters and cousins and, and family and friends and all that. And the only way to do that is by having integrity and having your clients' best interest at heart. There is no other way. I have clients now that worked with people in the past and they made some very bad investments. When I say very bad, I'll talk about one of them has full floors in buildings that couldn't sell for him for the past 2 years and a half, not even at OP. The only way to sell
the original price.
Yeah, the only way to sell them is to sell them with a loss, and a big loss. When I'm talking about like the 50% or 70% of the value,
really?
Right? Yeah, it's really bad. So when I look at the person that bought him that, yeah, he did make a lot of money, but he's not in business with him anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, markets go up and markets go down, don't they? But if you're deliberately selling something that you're personally going to make big commission on, but it's not the right investment, then yeah, you're not going to get that client back again, and you are going to get a reputation.
True. And a lot of people, unfortunately, like that. That's why working with someone that has integrity again is really important. Now we do found, a couple like options like short-term rentals or things that can at least make my clients some money, but some of them are managed by the hotel, which you can't really do anything about it. You can't sell it, you can't do anything. And there are a lot of clients like that. So it's a very difficult market, especially people that have been dealing with people that doesn't have integrity, and they come to you and they're like, what's gonna make you different?
Yeah, sure.
Why are you different? Like I just worked with someone and they did so and so. It makes our life and our job harder. But again, it's a long term. You don't go with the person that pays the most, but go with what's good for your client, and you build a long term.
Yeah, exactly.
Relationships.
What's really exciting about what you've done, you're the first person at EXP Dubai that's brought a team in, or you're building a team up.
True.
How many are there in your team?
Now we have 4 already. Fifth one, she's coming
I actually
from the
met
UK.
them for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
Really nice people.
Yeah, mostly women.
Yeah, there's one guy, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, so when I first decided or to go for my team, because I was thinking to open my own company. I got tired. I worked for 2 different companies and I was like, that's it. I'm going to open my own so I can put my own terms, because, this is not going to work for me. I need to build something that's going to last. That with, working with a lot of companies, really hard to do. So, and I went to meet Dunia again. I was like, hey, can I see you? I would like to meet you. And then we met. And I was like, hey, I know we have spoken about us working together. I already went to another company, but now I want to open my own company. So she told me, why would you? Because then you're going to have to forget about sales and focus on operations, right?
Yeah, completely different thing.
Yeah. So she said, if that's what you want to go for, and I had 3 people that were interested to be my business partners, they're going to put the money down and I'm going to manage the business and have 50%. With some, we were more than 2 people and all that. And then I was like, oh, it makes sense, because I always keep an open mind when people tell me things. I'm not no, don't tell me that. I was like, oh, tell me more. And she was like, why don't you explore working with us? You can actually have your entity under EXP.
Yep.
It's like entity within the entity. I was like, really? Tell me more about that. Mm-hmm. And she explained to me. And then I was like, that's it, and I can sell real estate in 24 different countries. I'm international, and I work with international buyers and sellers. I was like, perfect. So I can really sell my clients property in Miami or in Portugal or this and that. She's like, yeah, you can do that. And then I was like, okay, I'm sold. Let's start.
Exactly, because we've already got that connection, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And we can have official agreements through EXP with these various people, and with 86,000 agents worldwide.
Yeah.
There's loads to have a go at, isn't there?
We're almost 90,000. It's
Almost
growing very
90,000, yeah.
fast.
Yeah, okay, a bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
fastest growing real estate company in the world. So, yeah, it's growing rapidly. But the other thing is, you look at people that are setting up their own business, and okay, they're going to get 100% of the commission. But think of all the overheads that they've got. Think of all the hassle of setting that business up. Just join EXP, and you're on minimum 80%. Up to 100%, depending on how much business you're doing. So it's a no-brainer, really, isn't it?
I mean, it really depends. Some people don't get it sometimes.
No.
It's really hard to explain. But if you're international and if you are looking to explore the international market, it would make sense quicker and easier. But if you're someone that just like, why would I give? I had this conversations with friends where why would I give like 20% of what I make to a company when I can go and open my own company? But I was like, but you don't have the same platform, you don't have the same support, you don't have the international, market, you don't have this, you don't have that, the revenue share, publicly traded, so many things that if you keep an open mind, you'll make way much more money with EXP than being, on your own. But again, it's not for everybody. You also have to have the entrepreneur mindset.
Yes, you do. But a lot of people have got that, and a lot of people are thinking of setting their own up. And I've run various businesses over the years, not just real estate, but it can be a lonely place. Now, I know you've done it more with partners, and a lot of people do that. It doesn't always work out with business partners. Sometimes it does. I had Luke Remington on the other day, and he and his two business partners, Simon and James, they've made it work. Fantastic. But doing that for whatever it is, 11 years or whatever, it's worked for them, but it doesn't work for everybody. And with this, if you do have a problem with someone, it doesn't matter. It's you can just carry on. So yeah, I think EXP Dubai's going to go places. I think we'll be number one in the next 5 or 6 years.
I agree. We had this event at the Coca-Cola Arena. And I was like, listen, 2 years from now, maybe not even 5 or 3 years from now, we will have the Coca-Cola Arena just as EXP.
Virginia said she wants that.
Right? And I was like, and she was like, yeah, I mean, really, that's what I think, because once you understand the business model, and once you have to have the entrepreneurial mindset. If you're not an entrepreneur, if you're someone that needs to have someone call them and why didn't come to office, why it can get challenging. Some people cannot work.
Yeah, but you need an entrepreneurial mindset a bit, even if you're working for an Allsop or a Better Homes or a Fan Properties, because you're on your 50-50 or your 60-40 commission, but you've still got you're meant to go into the office, let's just say, but you still have to motivate yourself, don't you? And you've even if you're a normal real estate agent in Dubai, you have to have a bit of that anyway.
That's true, but with some companies, they kind of call you. You have to come. It's like a 9 to 5 job or 10 to 6. It's not up to you. If you work for a real estate company, you need to be there. So that's different. It's not like you have the freedom. People think they have the freedom when they come to this business, but you don't have the freedom when you come to this business because you have to hustle on your own. The other idea that people have regarding this is the leads. They would like to work for companies that provides leads. And I do think companies don't really provide leads to someone just joined, And you can get your own leads as well. It's a full package, and you have to be willing to put the work in.
Well, as we've discussed, we got all these international brokers, so a lot of leads come from there, and leads are generated, so we do get some. But another great factor about EXP is that you don't have to share your database with everyone else, whereas some of these bigger companies in Dubai, you enter your details on the database of your clients, and they're exposed to everyone else. And there's none of that with EXP. Your leads are your leads, aren't they?
Well, the other thing you're totally right. The other thing with EXP is like we are one team, really. Like even I have my own team now, but we are a team. When someone calls me to ask about something, I would call, someone else from EXP team, not necessarily from Majida Properties team. But with other companies, I do have I've witnessed something that was like mind-blowing to me when I was working with one of the real estate companies, and I would just talk about what I have. I would say the apartment number, I would say everything, and someone like big in our company that we look up for was like, don't say that. Don't mention your apartment number, don't do that. And I was like, really? Aren't we like same company? And that was like a wake-up call for me. I was like, if I can't trust people that I work with, even in one company, it's a problem, right?
So you're part of a women empowerment group, is that right?
Yeah, I'm part of Women Choice. Women Choice is a global women empowerment organization founded by Nisa Alawi. She's a good friend of mine. And when we started, I started like being involved when they were still in New York. And 3 years ago, we started doing like events here in Saudi
Was it set
Arabia.
up in New York?
Yeah, that was the base of it. But then when we moved to Miami during COVID, we started doing a lot of events in Miami. And the whole idea of it is just kind of like change
Like the mindset of people.
Yeah,
That move from sort of competition to collaboration.
exactly. So change the mindset from a competitive mindset to a collaborative mindset, because we always talk about the gender bias and the gap between men and women in the workforce and the salaries and all that stuff. But the main thing that we don't talk about is you would be in a room full of men, and the only problem you will have is the other woman in the room.
Really?
Yeah. And it's, we all talk about men versus women. I don't think that's not the case here. Women don't really support women, they don't. I'll get more support from a man than from a woman. And
Right.
or I will get hate from someone that don't even know me. Just see me, probably anything. Probably could be a look, probably could be something that I said, probably the attention I got, anything. So we just started this, luncheons, events, and now I'm so happy, that we have all these powerful women. When I say we have people, from different sectors, from tech to you name it, like every sector, and very powerful women, and we all come together and we all, we do the best events. Even my team now, we just got a sponsored membership for Renad and Roa and Yasmin, because they're women and they've been to the events, they love it. And they're very inspired. I mean, since they came from the UK, they've been attending events, and it's just a different, being part of a women empowerment. It's not like we have a problem with men and we're trying to empower women over men. It's different. It's like we want to
collaborate together,
collaborate and work together.
Yeah.
And that's the idea of Women Choice. Yeah. And now we're growing super fast, and we have the best in different industries that are part of it.
And then would you say your time in the US, things were better there? There was more women involved than say this region?
Yeah, I definitely, from my own opinion, that women in the US are more like, at least when we were starting here, they're like more, I would say, nicer. They give more compliments to each other. And I do give a lot of compliments to women.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I mean, the women within EXP here, there's no bitchiness.
No.
You all work together.
No.
You all get on really well.
We do get on really
Massive
well.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Helped by the fact we've got such a good leader in Dunya.
Yeah, Dunya, she's really the best. And if it were not for Dunya, I would have not joined the EXP. Like, she literally showed me what a woman with integrity and knowledge and respect have. Or, being part of EXP, she was my number one person. And now she's been really picking and choosing all the women and the men, like everybody in EXP. And I'm proud we have the best out of the best. And I just love that. I love working with people that are really successful in real life, in their other businesses and in the real estate business as well, that comes to this, place, and we all work together. It's just really rewarding.
What I can do maybe is put Women Choice details in the show notes, and then if somebody wants to contact you,
that would be great. Yeah. If anybody want to contact me for Women Choice or any of the other businesses, that would be
of course. Before I let you go, you've got this massive social media presence. You did a talk in Portugal a couple of months ago. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it 177,000 followers on Instagram?
Yeah. I know it's funny enough. I used to have more, but I'm not. I'm really busy, and the fact that I went off social media for 2 years and a half, couple years ago, and I just started again 3 years ago when I moved back here, impacted that. But yeah, it's growing, and I have a good community. I definitely want to give it more time and do more things, more podcasts, more, I tend to do more like press releases than podcasts and more, engagement, but I would love to get better at it.
The thing is, now you've got this team, you can get them to do a lot of this, can't you? So
believe me, like my team, they're like so busy. The first thing I focus on with my team is like knowledge, product knowledge. Like they are working every day from morning till night, weekends, weekdays, like every day, all
boss.
day. No, I don't treat them like I'm a boss. I mean, I treat them like family members, but because they are very young, and I wish someone was like that with me when I was in their age. And they're very fresh. They have like fresh perspective. They love it. They want to do it. They graduated from like one of them, she used to work with the JP Morgan. The other one, so they all like successful.
Where was that, in London?
In London, yeah. And she left that to come and work with me, so I feel the pressure. They're all very successful, very, they want to. I said, number one, if you're not trying to be number one in this business, just you can do something else, And they really want to,
well, I know, as I said, I met them yesterday, and they just came up to me and introduced themselves, chatted, and I thought, this is going to work. You're going to do well. And with you sort of heading the team up, and Dunya above that.
True. They also go to Dunya. They talk to everybody in the team as well when they need some type of info. I dedicate a lot of time for them to like teach them. Not only me, we have some people from outside the country as well that we work with, sister companies. They know a lot about interior design, architecture. They know about the market in general. They know about women's choice, how, women supporting women. It's not just one thing that they're working on. They know a lot about the concierge, but they're better than a lot of people that have been in the industry for like years. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, as you say, they got the right attitude, and they'll learn more. But future's exciting, isn't it?
It is very exciting. And again, it's integrity. Everything they do with integrity. And I wouldn't pick someone that doesn't have it to start with.
Majida, it's been great having you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.